Hello, everyone, and what a stacked day of comic news we have today. DC just revealed a villain-led Justice League. Superman suddenly has a new brother, and AEW is teaming with DC for a crossover, and Archie zombies are heading to Disney Plus. Oh, and did I mention Green Arrow's faith in the Absolute Universe? Yeah, we've got a lot to break down today, and let's get into it. But before we get into that, I want to remind everybody about the GoFundMe to support Brandon, aka Mon Comics, and his family, who lost their house in a house fire a couple of weeks ago. So there is the link to the GoFundMe there on the screen. Scan the QR code, go support if you can. All right. Also, today's episode is brought to you by Ron's Comic Closet. They've got killer issues or killer deals on new comics, back issues, maybe some slabs. And because you're watching, you get 20% off your entire first order if you use code IHAVEISSUES at checkout. And that's at ronscomiccloset.com. Support the channel, save some money, and fill those long box gaps all at once. All right. The Absolute Universe continues to shake up the DCU or the DC multiverse, and this week is delivered a reveal that flipped one of comics' most iconic teams on its head. The Justice League, long the symbol of heroism, has been reimagined here as a team of villains. Instead of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman standing guard, the lineup now includes Ra's al Ghul, the Joker, Veronica Cale, Hector Hammond, and Eleanor Thawne, all under the direction of Brainiac, who's manipulating events through Mirror Master. Even Hawkman has been twisted into a merciless government hitman. In this continuity, the League claims to fight for justice, but their version of justice is authoritarian control powered by a belief system tied to Darkseid. Brainiac's attempt to recruit Lex Luthor only raises the stakes, showing that this league isn't about protecting the world, it's about dominating it by putting the villains in the driver's seat of the flagship team. DC is using the Absolute Universe to explore what happens when power and ideology corrupt the very idea of a Justice League. This is not an Elseworld side story. It is a fully realized parallel universe running alongside the main DCU. With long-term continuity weight, that means this reveals one of the boldest moves DC has made in years. What's your take? Is this darker Justice League a refreshing reinvention, or does it go too far in warping DC's most iconic team? Let me know what you think. Let me check got some chats real quick. All right, and hello, madam. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in, Brian. All right. And speaking of big changes in the Absolute Universe, DC just gave Superman a brand new brother. The Absolute Universe just dropped a game-changing twist for Superman's legacy. In Absolute Superman 12, readers are introduced to Saul, who is revealed as Superman's new brother in a parallel corner of DC's multiverse. Unlike John Kent or any traditional Kryptonian relative, Saul is actually a sentient Kryptonian AI suit that Kal-El recognizes as family, blurring the line between technology and kinship in a way we've never seen before. The issue doesn't stop there. Two major twists are teased moving forward. First, the possibility of Saul's death, an event that could push Kal into a darker territory, reshaping his role in the Absolute Universe. The second twist is Saul's potential evolution into possibly Absolute Red Tornado, which would dramatically reframe him from ally to something far more complicated and possibly adversarial. Both outcomes carry enormous implications, not only for Superman, but also for the larger structure of the Absolute Universe. This adds layers to Superman's story, showing that even in a parallel world where the rules are bent, the themes of family and legacy are still central, but it also challenges readers with a darker question. What happens when the family bond is tested or weaponized? Are you on board with DC adding a brand new sibling to Superman mythology, or does this rewrite feel like too much change at once? And then meanwhile, in the real world, superheroes are stepping into the wrestling ring. Professional wrestling and superheroes are about to collide. DC Comics has officially announced a 2-issue crossover event with All Elite Wrestling, AEW, set to debut in 2026. The project is being written by Steve Orlando, with art by Travis Mercer, and covers by Lucas Meyer. And it will feature AEW's biggest stars like Jon Moxley and Mercedes Moné, standing shoulder to shoulder with sometimes head to head with the Justice League. The crossover isn't just happening on the pages, it's spilling into the ring. DC will serve as the official sponsor for AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view this November, with tie-ins and promotional reveals scheduled for New York Comic Con. This is the first time DC has taken such a direct step into the wrestling world, marking a bold extension of the brand and potential introducing comic characters to an entirely new audience. For longtime fans, this crossover raises plenty of questions. Which Justice Leaguers will clash with wrestlers? How canon will the event feel inside the Absolute Universe and beyond, or the main DC continuity? And is this the start of a longer relationship between AEW and DC? Are you excited to see the Justice League throw down with AEW stars, or does this sound like a gimmick going too far? And then from the ring to the comic shop, DC's blind bag stunt with Batman has blown up in their face. DC's largest experiment with blind bag comics has backfired in a big way. The release of Batman #1 blind bag edition was meant to drive excitement with hidden variant covers, but instead it caused a storm of controversy. Some retailers broke street date, selling sealed copies early or cracked them open to flip the rarest covers at inflated prices. Fans accused DC and its distributors of fueling speculation rather than excitement, or rather than celebrating the relaunch of one of their flagship books. In response, Lunar Distribution issued a formal policy update that changed how blind bag comics will be handled going forward. The change includes clear labeling on bagged editions, tighter controls and allocations to ensure fairness for shops, and tougher enforcement of official on-sale dates. Retailers who ignore these rules risk penalties and reduce access to future blind bag titles. This marks a significant shift in how DC and Lunar are approaching collectible releases, and it could possibly influence how other publishers handle similar promotions. Blind bags may have created a short-term rush, but they're also creating headaches for fans and retailers alike. Do you think blind bags should stay part of the hobby, or is it time for DC to bag the gimmick entirely? And on the streaming side of things, Disney Plus is betting big on horror with the surprise Archie project. Disney Plus is taking a big swing into comic book adaptations with live action of Afterlife with Archie, based on the hit series by Roberto Aguirre-Sacras and Francesco Francavali. I apologize for butchering those names. The show will bring Riverdale's classic characters into a zombie apocalypse setting. AS is on board as writer and executive producer, reuniting with Greg Berlanti and the Riverdale production team. The original comic launched in 2013 and became a cult favorite for blending the wholesomeness of Archie with gory cinematic horror. Disney's decision to adapt signals a willingness to push beyond family-friendly fare, putting Archie and his friends in much darker, bloodier spotlight. With Berlanti and AS steering the series, fans can expect a tone that honors Frank Cowley's moody pulp art style. The series is still in early development with no casting news yet, but the announcement alone has stirred buzz across both horror and comic fandom. If Disney Plus is willing to lean into the comic's grim edge, this could become one of its boldest originals yet. Would you tune in to a horror-driven Archie series, or does the idea of a Disney Plus handled zombies feel like an odd fit? It's not going to be too odd of a fit because I think right now Marvel Zombies is out right now, so it's going to work pretty well in my opinion. Now let's swing back to Marvel, where the X-Men's worst enemies could reshape the MCU. After the X-Men prepare to enter the Marvel Cinematic Universe, speculation is running wild about which villains could give them the toughest battles. Comicbook.com pulls together a list of the 10 most powerful X-Men enemies who could not only challenge the mutants, but potentially shake the MCU to its core. The ranking ranges from psychic terrors of the Shadow King to relentless machines, the relentless machine might of Nimrod, and the cosmic devastation of Dark Phoenix. Topping the list is Mr. Sinister, a master of genetics and manipulation who have been waiting decades for this chance to headline in live action. Other heavy hitters include Apocalypse, Onslaught, and Magneto, each bringing world-ending stakes and deep thematic resonance. Even wild cards like the Brood or Bolivar Task make the cut, showing how the X-Men's rogue gallery could expand Marvel cinematic storytelling in new directions. The article argues that villains like Sinister, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix, got the Absolute Universe on my mind, could anchor entire MCU phases, giving Marvel fresh saga-level threats to rival Thanos. For longtime fans, it's a wish list of classic X-Men showdown. For newcomers, it's a glimpse at just how dangerous the mutant corner of Marvel really is. Which X-Men villain do you want to see introduced first in the MCU? And speaking of Marvel shakeups, Sue Storm is about to face her darkest side once again. Marvel is bringing back one of the Fantastic Four's darkest twists, and it's hitting just in time for the team's new arc. In Fantastic Four 6, writer Ryan North and artist Umbero Ramos will reintroduce Malice, the darker alter ego of Sue Storm, Invisible Woman. First introduced in 1980, Malice embodies Sue's repressed rage, transforming her into a dangerous, corrupted version of herself. This time around, Malice is billed as the Invincible Woman, a name that suggests Sue's powers and her ruthlessness are pushed to terrifying new heights. To make matters worse, Galactus is putting a bounty on Sue Storm, turning cosmic attention against the Fantastic Four. At the same time, they're facing betrayal from within. Promotional material even includes a digital tie-in. Fans who play Marvel Rivals will unlock an exclusive Malice spray when the issue drops. Between Galactus targeting her and Sue's own dark persona resurfacing, the Fantastic Four are about to endure one of their most personal and dangerous crises in years. Marvel is teasing this storyline as just the start of a larger arc that could lead into future Foundation developments. Do you think Sue Storm embracing Malice again is the right way to raise the stakes for Marvel's first family? And while Marvel is leaning on horror at home, Image is doubling down on horror and sci-fi this October. Image Comics is making October 2025 a showcase of horror and science fiction, rolling out a slate of books designed to hit right in the Halloween season. The solicitation includes a mix of new releases, big anniversary issues, and ongoing fan favorites, with a clear emphasis on a darker theme. Headliners include the 68 Compendium, collecting the acclaimed Veteran War Zombie Saga, a Department of Truth Zero, I think that just came out, a new special issue driving back into James Tynion IV's high conspiracy horror series. Alongside those tentpoles, Image is also pushing a brand new horror anthology miniseries, while continuing its biggest creative-owned title like Saga, Radiant Black, and Spawn. To make the most of the spooky season, the publisher is loading up October with variant covers, glow-in-the-dark treatments, and one-shot special timed perfectly for Halloween. It's another reminder that Image thrives by going where the big two often won't. Offering creators a space to experiment with genre with genres beyond superheroes, with horror and sci-fi leading the way this fall. The publisher is clearly betting that fans are hungry for something different. Which of Image's October releases is most likely to end up on your pull list? And finally, back into the Absolute Universe, DC just killed off one of its most iconic heroes. And there are some spoilers in this one, so if you don't want them, skip ahead. DC's Absolute Universe just escalated in a brutal way. In Absolute Evil 1, writer Al Ewing and artist Giuseppe Camuncoli, I apologize again, officially unveiled the new Justice League in this parallel world. It's a lineup of villains. The team includes Ra's al Ghul, Joker, Veronica Cale, Hector Hammond, and Eleanor Thawne, all rallying under a warped sense of justice tied to Darkseid's ideology. Brainiac is manipulating events through the Mirror Master and pulling the strings behind the scenes. All right, I'll cover all that. The shocker comes when Absolute Green Arrow is savagely killed by Hawkman, who serves as a government executioner in this continuity. It's a violent, unsettling twist that signals the Absolute Universe isn't afraid to take iconic heroes off the board in order to raise the stakes. Joker's twisted speech about justice particles reframes the League as enforcers of oppression, not protectors of hope. By placing villains at the center of its flagship team and removing heroes in a shocking way, DC is cementing the Absolute line as a parallel universe with weight and consequences. This isn't a disposable side tale. It's a world meant to stand shoulder to shoulder with the core DCU, or with the core DC main continuity. What's your reaction? Does killing off Green Arrow in the very first issue of Absolute Evil make the story more compelling, or does it push the dark reinvention too far? I don't know about you, but when I looked through it and saw that, I was like, holy hell. Yeah, I was like, wow. Okay. All right. And that's it for the stories, but I do have the Cover Price Daily Shakers report for October 1st. And what we got in today's Cover Price Shakers list proves once again that the comic market moves in wild and unexpected directions. At the very top, Amazing Spider-Man 300 from 1988, Todd McFarlane's iconic Venom issue hits a massive $7,200 for a CGC 9.8 newsstand copy, reminding everyone why this book is a perennial blue chip. Right behind it, Incredible Hulk number 181 from 1974, the debut of Wolverine, landed nearly $7,000 in a CGC 9.2, while a lower grade, Journey into Mystery number 83 from 1962, Thor's first appearance, still managed over $6,600 in a CGC 4.0, showing the enduring power of the Silver Age keys. The list also showcases diversity beyond the usual suspects. A Matt Baker Golden Age romance comic, Teen Age Romances number 43 from 1955, brought in $6,250 in a CGC 5.0, proving that collectors continue to chase Baker's classic covers. Moderns are making noise too, with Invincible number 1 from 2003. It sold for $5,000 in a CGC 9.8, confirming that the Amazon adaptation has cemented this book as one of the strongest modern keys. Even mid-Silver Age gems like ASM 39 and Hulk number 1, yes, I think a 0.5 copy, pulled thousands, showing demand spans across conditions and eras. Rounding out the list, Cerberus number 1, House of Secrets number 92, Swamp Thing's first appearance, and an ultra high-grade X-Men number 101, a UK price variant, highlighted the breadth of what is moving the market. From Golden Age romance to bronze horror to indie milestones, today's report underscores one thing. Collectors aren't just chasing superheroes, they're chasing history across every corner of comics. Which of these shakers would you love to own or already have in your collection? Guys, don't forget that this Sunday night we have Comic Channel Origins. And this Sunday I am interviewing the Fantastic Four comics Curing Cancer, Rob's Fast X, Mark from Legion of Comics, DJ Links, and Austin LeMay. And I'm going to be talking to them this week about Comics Curing Cancer and how that was all started. Normally, Comic Channel Origins is talking to YouTube content, comic book content creators about how they start their channel. But with this being the month of C3, I want to talk to these guys about how they started C3. So please join us. Please ask questions, and let's have a great episode there to kick off C3 month. And that's all the big stories for today. Comic Issues Daily. Thanks for hanging out and talking comics with me. If you like what you heard, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you haven't already, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. And until next time, I'm Brian. And remember, we all have comic issues.